Come on in, Will. Up you come. Up you go. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Del Boy and little Wilbur here, or Wilberforce Montgomery Gardener is his proper name. Can I first of all wish everybody a happy Christmas and hope that you're going to have a really good time. But this particular story is a bit disturbing because I let things drift without realising it on the diabetes front with Wilbur. Now, in my case, I was fortunate that I was married to a staff nurse who recognised the signs and said, "You need to go to the doctor. I think you could be pre-diabetic." So I did, and I was. But the difference between animals and adults, humans, is that they can't communicate. The only way you can tell is by measuring how much water they've had and so on, and of course increased urination and lack of control of urination can be the big problem. But I digress. We are where we are. I'm thankful that I had a very good dog sitter who loves Wilbur, and she told me that there was something wrong. She thought it might be a UTI, and I said, okay, well, let's have a look. And I measured his water for a couple of days and realised he was peeing everywhere all the time, and went to the vets, did a blood test, and sure enough, it's diabetes, and it's now injections, which is absolutely Wilbur's favourite part of the day. Not, isn't it? You don't like that, do you? No. Anyway, it's something that we're working on all the time as to ways and means of getting around to giving him an injection, giving him a treat, as a reward or whatever. But we're now getting to the stage where he needs insulin twice a day, which is, he hates it, he shakes like a leaf, but it's got to happen. So what we need to do is now need to arrive at how much insulin. We could possibly go the route of the patches that go to your phone, which I was on for a while, and they are actually quite good, but you do tend to sort of watch them all the time, and it's but the vets don't seem to be looking at that route for Wilbur. We've started him on a low-ish dose, and he's going in for a blood test on Monday, and that will be, hopefully we'll see how we're doing. We've upped it already to 7.5 units of insulin twice a day, and possibly we might have to go up to 10 units twice a day, but we'll soon. I'm not going to preempt that. We'll wait and see what the results are, and if we do need to put a patch on him, they're not that dear, and I can just shave a bit of his fur and then stick them on, and do that for a month, and then we'll have a really good idea of what's happening. So that's the plans as we sit. Yes, I've got to watch out for making sure he doesn't eat too much, but one of the problems I've found is that he's actually losing weight. Now, I'd be very interested in the comments to find out if that's normal, because it wasn't in my case, but he's a doggy, I don't know. So what we need to do here is find out what the score is there, because he was a slightly porky 10.5 kilos, which is a little bit over for a West Highland Terrier, and he's now down to 9 kilos, which is about what a female Westie should be, or thereabouts. There's no real rules on this, but I think the best thing we can do is get the blood sugars right and reasonable, and then look and see what's happening on his diet, and if he does need an increase of calories, then we can do that. But again, I'm pointing out the problems and the issues here in case somebody else finds themselves in the same situation. But also, I'm hoping that the community, because Wilbur's got something like 1,800 followers on Instagram, some of whom will be watching this, and I'm hoping that they will come back to me as well, by private message or whatever, giving me what's happening to them, because I know you say you can rely on the vets or your doctors or whatever, but in the case, I think that, other people's trials and tribulations can show me that there is perhaps a different way of doing things, and I'd be very interested to find out what's going on there. So here's the plan. We're going to just get the blood sugar right, plenty of exercise. We're fortunate here, living on the coast, that we can go down to the beach, albeit as long as the weather's all right. And then from there we can monitor it on a regular basis, and hopefully Wilbur can have some sort of longevity, because Westies do tend to live to a reasonable age, and I'm counting on that. I don't know, Wilbs, wouldn't know what to do without you. So I think that's really the stage one of the story. I will report back in a week and with what's happening now, and hopefully we can, when I come in, we'll be doing all right, and maybe we won't have to increase. So I'm sorry it's a bit waffly, but I normally do scripts for my videos, but this one is just coming straight off the gun, and I'm just a bit of a loss now. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you'll come back to me with your thoughts and ideas, and I will speak to you in a week's time. Thank you very much for watching. Saying goodbye, Wilbs.